Together we honor what we've learned, and with open hearts we prepare to step into the new year with clarity, purpose, and hope. So today's inspiration is provided by Elizabeth Chomik. So please help me welcome Elizabeth with her talk titled, Flowing Grounded.
Grand Rising, everyone. Thank you. I'm so grateful to be here to be your inspirational speaker. I thank you so much for that, Delphine. This is why I'm here. For 20-something odd years I've been here, since 2003, and it just keeps me coming back to see, to be in community and to help everyone and to know, these two have been coming for so long, and it keeps people young. Like Shona came and she was dancing with me, and she was dancing like a little girl, and I'm so grateful to see that, and it keeps you young. And another reason is seeing people like Marana, who just started coming, and seeing her grow and shine and share her gifts with us. It's so grateful for that, for seeing everyone do that. And we have 2 new people here. I'm so grateful that they're here. And so I'll be talking about flowing ground today. We think that the ground is solid, but it's actually flowing. And even ourselves, we have in each and every cell of our body, we have these little factories that are working and moving and growing. So if you know that each and every cell of our body works, and it has its little God consciousness in it too, and it works, and so we're not really flowing ground. And we know that in this teaching that sorry, my nerves, okay, that we heal the sick. And we know this because we demonstrate it. We do it through our affirmative prayer, through our teachings of affirmative prayer, through our treatment. Louise Hay wrote a book about the affirmations and the probable cause, and she has had an illness. She had cancer of her cervix, and she actually cleared that up, and she lived to be 82 years old. She was a practitioner of the science of mind teaching. So one of the ones that she has was a problem with aches. So the problem is aches in our bodies. So as we grow older, we get these aches in our bodies, right? So the probable cause is longing for love, longing to be held. That could be a probable cause. One of the thoughts that we have in our mind, because we are thinking, we think our thoughts, right? And so one of her new thought pattern, her new thought thinking is, I love and approve of myself, and I am loving and lovable. So that is to change that thought, to change the ache. If you just change it in your mind, and then you can think it, then the aches will, hopefully go away. As I age, I know that I get much more aching. But then you do that. And so go with the flow of the Spirit. Are you ready to go with the flow? Like this morning, I was supposed to do a song with Jeff. Jeff was supposed to come and play guitar for me, and I was supposed to sing a song. But that didn't happen because he wasn't feeling well. So I was like, okay, Spirit, this is what you want to do. And then I was going to go through my speech again this morning, but then my son needed a ride to work because he missed his bus. So then I got here, I had to go take him. And so I'm like, okay, Spirit, this is what you want. You don't want me to practice today. Okay. I'm going to go with the flow right now. So, yeah, Spirit tells you, teaches you. And so you are not, Creator, Spirit is in charge. This was a really big thing that I needed to learn. We are the co-creators of our lives, but really, essentially, the Spirit is in charge. And I recently picked up the practice of Reiki. And during Reiki, you connect with the God consciousness, but first you say, I let go of my personal energy and I let go of my ego. And Spirit does the healing for yourself or for others. And as a practitioner, we know that too, that Spirit works through us. Indigenous culture, we call it the hollow bone, where you are the hollowness and the Spirit just does the healing, the work through you. And I'm just a little bit out of sorts, but here I'm going to do, it's a liquid law not to be stopped by appearances of solidity. It can take a shift of consciousness and a grounding in the truth principles to look solid facts in the eye, look these solid facts in the eye and say, you're not so real after all. Just as we have come to understand that thoughts are things, we also become aware that things are thought in form. Change the thoughts, change the things, change the form. The ground is flowing. Will you ride it? Will you co-create its flow? How much more of the nature of Spirit can you embody? Can you embody its flow? Come on, embody its flow. The flow of consciousness is within me and my body is within consciousness. I am one with consciousness and consciousness is one with me. It is all one. So you know that you are a body inside consciousness. The affirmation I have here is, I swim in the flow of consciousness, sowing good wherever I go. So this consciousness is for good. We believe in the healing of the sick. I got through that, whether it is a personal misalignment with our individual body or a global misalignment. The infinite presence is greater than appearances. We tap into this infinite presence by making ourselves available to it with tools of meditation, visioning, and spiritual mind treatment. A practitioner of this science should not be confused over any given form, but should know that any form which is not of the original harmony is subject to change. So that's where we get Louise Hay's practitioner of this teaching. And the ground is not as solid as we like to think it is. Think of earthquakes and the ground constantly changing the tectonic plates. The same is true of the ground of appearances that seem so solid. Everything changes, everything flows. That the fluid process of the universe, as we become more conscious, both individually and collectively, we can consciously co-create the direction of change. We can break free of old paradigms, old structures, and create something new and more harmonious with the nature of life. One of the quotes, I listen to Mooji a lot, and one of the quotes I have from him that I love is, consciousness is always complete. Life takes care of life. Learn to observe with detachment. Observe your thoughts, observe your feelings, and just be that observer, that spirit within you. Connect with the higher source. What would it look like to be free of the psychological mind? And then Jesus said, trust in me, I have overcome the world of thought, identity, greed, shame, transcended it by being here in the heart. People with faith could move mountains. Confidence, you have the capacity to change your thought, change your life. We are continually seeking to express its nature through us. Its nature, that spirit. Visioning is a great way of listening within to this question. Meditation is a good way. This morning we meditated and then I asked you to go inside and feel and hear and listen to what Spirit was trying to tell you. That's a very good way to listen and know, like, what am I struggling with? What do I need to heal in this world? Like, one of my, I know it's really personal, and so I will say this. One of my difficulties or struggles has been being worthy of love. And so I have to remind myself that I am worthy. Because this morning when, Jeff canceled, I started going into doubt and, oh no, he doesn't want to do this with me and blah, blah, blah. But then I just remember that I am spirit, I am love, and I am joy, and I don't take it personally. It has nothing to do with me. Really, it's just all part of Spirit's plan. It is important to say no to what you don't want. You find the struggle and then you say no. When I was new in this practitioner training, I used to say, cancel, cancel, delete, delete, and then reaffirm, reaffirm. Like cancel all those thoughts that I was having and then just reaffirm that I'm love, I'm worthy of love, I'm worthy of coming up here and saying this speech, I'm worthy. When we are for a new way of being, a new vision, we start building a new model. We build a new model of what we want in this world. If we want this world, what do we want for this world? For me, I want world peace. For myself, I want to be able to hold space for people, to hold space for myself. For this to be love, a loving, joyous, peaceful world. And I do that. Like I go to Buddhist meditations, I go to the hospital where I see everyone as perfect, whole, and complete. I'm with the sickest people in the world, and I see them as perfect, whole, and complete. And I know what's best, and I know what's best for them. Emma Curtis Hopkins uses the idea of denial, saying no to what we don't want, but that is used in conjunction with naming our good, what we do want, with affirmative statements to move our thinking in the directions we want to go. When we are for a new way of being, a new vision, we start building a new model, which makes the old way obsolete. Then start building, then the solidness of just the way it is begins to move and dissolve, new in the teaching. Oh, sorry, I already said that story. Cancel, delete. Change your thought to the new affirmative one. It can take a while to really know who you truly are. You truly are a child of God who is loved beyond measure, and truly believe this. Because we are here for a reason. We are here to be loved. We are here to have new thoughts and a new earth. Emerson stated, "There are no fixtures in nature. The universe is fluid and volatile. Permanence is but a word of degrees. Our world, seen by God, is a transparent law, not a mass of facts. The law dissolves the fact and holds it fluid." In our personal lives, we have areas of solid ground, such as our genetics, our diagnoses, relationships with people, finance, and work. We get caught up in believing that things are just the way it is. Don Miguel Ruiz labeled it as domestication in the Four Agreements. It can be called conditioning. We have the conditioning of when we grew up, we have the conditioning of our parents, of our schools, of our peers. We call this conditioning, and this could be solid ground. It is the unexamined set of beliefs we use to navigate our world. We forget that this experience was initially created by infinite consciousness, and our consciousness individualized it for us. We are co-creating our experience and the evolution of life with infinite consciousness, and consciousness is unlimited. Principle is not bound by precedent. This, rather than struggling against fighting with existing condition, we are being called to take a breath, step back, and shift our consciousness into something new. Then have faith that it will manifest. That's it, having the faith, and then we can move mountains. That's the province of the law. Ours is to name the what, the good we choose to have manifest. In the book Illusions by Richard Bach, the hero Dono Shimoda, the reluctant Messiah, walks on water and swims in the ground because he knows water is neither solid nor liquid. Rather, it corresponds to our thought of what it is. Be in spirit, inspired. What inspires you? Whatever you can dream, you can make your reality. Another quote by Don Miguel Ruiz is, "Humans are dreaming all the time. Each person is in the midst of a personal dream. We all have individualized expressions of our own world. And, there are billions of different worlds, but there's just one God, one consciousness. But the billions of different worlds, because we each have our own perceptions, our own thoughts of the world. how you see the world around you and how you make sense of it through your stories you come up with and how you perceive the world, then there is the sum of all our personal dreams together. They form the basis of how we create the world around us and communicate with one another. Awaken from the dream and set your intentions in the morning upon awakening. Set your intentions for a new world. What are some old beliefs that I need to release to shift the ground of my life? And so for myself, like we can ask these questions. What are some old beliefs that I need to release to shift the ground of my life? So the one that I shared already is know my worth. Do not take things personally. Know not to take what others experience about me personally. Love them. Love them unconditionally, for they may come back into my life. Like if somebody is triggered by me and then I just love them unconditionally and they may come back. What are some of the best ways I can make a difference? That's another question we can ask ourselves. For me, is just creating the best life that I can and allow others to do the same. Hold space for my good and hold space for the good for all. What is one good I can make for the world? And I already said that was world peace. Freedom. Freedom is a big one for me too. In freedom, all you can dream of can come true. Health, wealth, prosperity, abundance of love, peace and joy. The world can be your oyster. Do with it what you want. See it, change it. Personal application. Create a vision that is a new model for something you have been struggling in your life. Let go of fighting the existing reality and focus your attention on the new model. And if you can't change it or see it, then see a practitioner and they can hold the space for you and know you're good and know that you're perfect, whole, and complete just the way that you are. Ernest Holmes studied a vast numbers of philosophies, which Delphine was coming to as well, and religions. He cites from the Tao Te Ching, the Gita, the Upanishads, Quran, the Bible. All scriptures declare that man is the spiritual image and likeness of God. The true religion of the future will be fulfillment of all the religions of the past. Love and embrace what is good in each of them. Holmes believed all sacred scriptures have proclaimed the unity of life, that he was one with the Father, that every man is a center of God consciousness. We are all the same. We are all part of that God consciousness. What you see in me, you see in yourself. What I see in you, I see in myself. This is the basis of all New Thought teaching, the spiritual union of all life. For example, I loved that video this morning because this was my example, was a river flowing down a mountain. And so April had picked that, but that's exactly what I had pictured as well. And the God consciousness is that one body of water on top, and it's pushing each and every one of us, our individual pathways down the mountain. So even though we're like far away from the top, we are still part of that one source, that one power, that one presence, that all-knowing, all-seeing God. That every man is the center of life, that he is one with the Father, that every man is the center of God consciousness. This is the basis of all New Thought teaching, the spiritual union of all life. This one body of water represents God consciousness. We are individuals, each have our thoughts, feelings, hopes, and aspirations and desires, and each is directly and intimately connected with the one divine life, energy and power. There is a God pressure back of each one of us, a life force seeking outlet through our thoughts and acts. There are many fountains, many individuals, but only one God pressure back of all. God lives and moves and has its being through each and every one of us. It is impossible to think of spirit as being anything solid. It is always fluid. Part of the fluidity of the spirit in us is our creativity. The real creative power of mind is deeper than the intellect. It passes into the realm of feeling and acceptance. There must be a deep feeling and conviction that enable one to commute with the invisible, We each as individuals must embody this God consciousness to the very fullest. Then we can become a vessel for the higher power to do the healing through us. We do not do the healing, it moves through us. So most of this this talk today is from the book. I can't find it. By Ernest Holmes, Change Your Thought. Change Your Life. That's it, right? And I love this book. We had to do it for one of the classes. So hopefully classes start up soon and you can join in classes and teaching. So conclusion and call to action. We like to say our thoughts are creative, but do we believe it? Do we believe our thoughts are creative? And how far will we take that idea? The seeming solidness of both personal situations and the conditions of the world are calling for a new consciousness. A new heaven. The heaven is in our thoughts. And a new earth in the form. So thoughts becomes things, becomes through our teaching up there, the seed, the soil, and the body. The thoughts become things, and a new earth. We will lift ourselves out of the old beliefs in the solidity of things and start creating anew. It is done unto us as we believe. We are conditioned to think of ourselves and things in our lives as nouns, but we are verbs. We are an evolutionary process, an integral function of the universe. And choices co-create reality. Our choices co-create our reality. Our teaching symbol of the creative process is a roadmap of the ideal moving into form. Ask what wants to be created. Clear out the resistance, disbelief, or stuckness in old ways to allow a new reality. One in alignment with the divine reality. What does the divine want? There's another question. What is it that I can do to allow the divine to move through me? Like I had to do that. You ask for healing and it comes, and I did that sweat for myself for my birthday, and wow, did a lot of stuff come up. And then after that there was just things come, and then I just have to look at it and say, this is spirit moving through me, and just have to be grateful and thankful for it moving through me. So, clear out the resistance, disbelief, or stuckness in old ways to allow a new reality, one that is in alignment with the divine reality, to take form. The ground is flowing. Will you ride it? Will you co-create its flow? How much more of the nature of spirit can you embody? Can you embody its flow? Let's choose vitality instead of stress. Choose clarity instead of doubt. And I'm going to finish with what Audrey does. Let's read that affirmation together. I swim in the flow of consciousness, flowing, sowing good, wherever I go. So it is.